I just spent hours playing Crimson Desert for the first time, and I'm not even gonna lie, I genuinely can't decide if this game is a masterpiece or if it's a complete mess. Like, it feels like someone took The Witcher, Zelda, GTA, Assassin's Creed, threw them in a pot, boiled it, opened the lid, and that's the game we get. And that's kind of the best way to describe this game. Now, this game has been in development for years. There's been so much hype around it, so many delays, and honestly, I was expecting either something incredible or total disappointment. But what we got is like way more interesting. The first thing is that this game is huge, and I don't mean just empty space huge. I mean actually packed with stuff. Everywhere you go, something is happening. There are NPCs doing their own thing, random events popping up, animals roaming around, and buildings you can just walk into. It doesn't feel like a typical open world game where everything is placed there for you. It feels more like the world just exists and you're just there. And the freedom you get is kinda crazy as well for me. You can follow the main story, sure, like that's what everybody does anyways, but you can also just completely ignore the story and do your own thing and level up and come back real strong and start the story from zero. But here's where it gets a little weird. A lot of the important systems like progression and abilities are tied to side content. So sometimes it feels like the game is forcing you to explore before you're really ready to move forward, which is cool if you like exploring, but if you just want to focus on the main story, it can feel a bit slow. Now, let's talk about the combat because this is easily one of the best parts of the game for me. At first, it feels a bit clunky. It feels like there is a delay when you're hitting someone. And I'm not gonna lie, you're kind of just pressing buttons and trying to figure things out, and it doesn't really feel smooth. It looks smooth, but it doesn't feel smooth. But once something clicks in, you start understanding the combos, you unlock new abilities, and suddenly the combat is like 10 times more fun. Like you're chaining attacks together, switching between different styles, and it actually feels like you're getting better and not only just leveling up your character. Each character has their own skill tree and their own way of fighting, and that adds a lot of depth. It's not just spam attack and win, you actually have to think a little bit. But a really bad part is that to upgrade all the three characters, you need the same items, so that's a bummer. So if you give the resources to another character, which is not the main character, you will need to put more hours in the game unless you want to finish the game first. So you could grind until the end game and then put the rest of the resources for the other characters to play them, because if you don't, it's just not fun. That being said, the inventory system is a thing as well. It's kind of a mess for me. Managing gear and items can feel more complicated than it needs to be, especially early on. And then there are the boss fights. Some of them are amazing, like genuinely epic, challenging in a good way, and super satisfying to beat. But others, they feel completely unbalanced. You'll struggle like crazy on one boss, and then the next one is weirdly easy. The difficulty is very inconsistent. There are also some extra features that feel like hit or miss, like the mech sections, for example, are actually really fun. I didn't expect that at all, but they work surprisingly well. Dragon riding though, yeah, that's a different story. It looks incredible, like something straight out of a movie, but controlling it just feels off. It's kind of clunky and it takes you out of the experience a bit. The puzzles are another mixed experience for me. Some of them are really rewarding and you feel smart for figuring them out, but others just leave you confused, like the game didn't give you enough information to solve them properly. You can just sit there and look at a puzzle for years, and at the end it's just such a simple solution. The first puzzle that I did in the game was something like this. I thought about it for 15 minutes because the answer was so clear, but it was never shown to me. So I just didn't do it. There is definitely not a lot of hand holding here, which some people will love and others will probably find frustrating. As for the story, it's decent. It follows the Grey main family and there are some emotional moments mixed with fantasy elements. It's not the strongest part of the game, but it's good enough to keep you interested in the story. There are a few pacing issues though, in my opinion. The game uses flashbacks quite a lot, and after a while it starts to feel repetitive. Some moments hit really hard and others just kind of pass by without any impact. The voice acting is also different. It has very specific style and I can already tell it's going to divide people. Some will love it, some won't. It's like the Peaky Blinders. Now visually, this game is actually insane though. The lighting, the environments, the weather, it all looks incredible. There were moments where I just stopped and looked around because how good everything looked. Performance wise, on PC at least, it's surprisingly solid. The frame rate is stable most of the time, even with everything going on. But yet, there are some bugs. Nothing too crazy, that's good. But small glitches, occasional crashes, and some weird moments here and there, but nothing is perfect, especially for a game this big. And with patches already coming out, a lot of that will probably get fixed in no time. So overall, what do I think? I think Crimson Desert is one of the most ambitious RPGs we have seen in a long time. It tries to do a lot of things at once, and not all of them work perfectly. It's messy, it's a bit inconsistent, and it definitely has some rough edges. But at the same time, it's also really fun. And when the game is at its best, it's honestly kind of amazing. This feels like one of these games that's only going to get better over time, in my opinion. If the developers keep improving it, fixing the bugs, and balancing things out, this could end up being something really special, I think. But I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think Crimson Desert actually lives up to the hype, or is it just another overambitious RPG that tried to do too much? Let me know in the comments. And yeah, if you want more honest first impressions like this, you already know what to do. And if you want to see more Crimson Desert content, you know what to do as well. Peace out.